So, who has the most influence on a teen's choice to use drugs or alcohol? The answer? Parents and peers. I mentioned peers just momentarily, as we'll talk about the peer factor in an upcoming segment. But for now, who your kids hang with or associate with should be important to you. Numerous studies on the topic we're going to talk about today all end up with the same exact conclusion. Drug and alcohol use among teens whose parents verbalize a no-use message is considerably lower than teens whose parents are indifferent or avoid the conversation completely. Parent disapproval greatly reduces underage drinking and drug abuse, period. Welcome to the Get in the Way video series, where we share tips on how to get in the way, to say something, to do something. I'm Larry Tracy, Executive Director of Youth for Youth, and I'm here with today's tip. Verbalize your expectations often. Parents, we think, oh, we've told our son or daughter this. No, this is one area where the research and the data supports repetition of the message. I call it the broken record technique. It's so important to make sure that they know where we stand on this issue, because this is one of the major areas that will destroy and disrupt a life forever. So when it comes to preventing your teen from drinking or using drugs, here's what we found works best. First, have high expectations and set high expectations. Set limits or boundaries. And here is a key factor that's very important to your success. Enforce the limits you set and follow through with any consequences you set. So how do we put those things in place and make this happen? Well, first, determine your expectations, what they are. And parents should be on the same page and supportive of all expectations. Next is to give a no-use message. And when you set your expectations, verbalize disapproval on use and abuse. Make it a conversation. Do it with confidence, sincerity, and make sure you're using eye contact. And I would encourage you to avoid setting any limits when your emotions are running high from a situation that just happened. You want to get this and nip it in the bud? The earlier you start, the easier it will be. Use what we call the broken record technique. So, let's set an expectation. How about this? If I ever find out you've been drinking, I will, and then you can fill in the blank with whatever you want. As a teen, what did I just hear? You said, don't get caught. You never told me not to drink. You just said, if you catch me. So what you say is very important, and how you say it is even more important. And following through is imperative to your success. Here's another example. Parent, do you know why I want to make sure that you don't get involved with drugs and alcohol? And I pause right there. And my teen's going to say, well, yeah, it's bad for you. And as a parent, then I'm going to come back and say, yes, it's bad for you. But it goes much deeper than that. I want you to be successful. And I know you want to be successful. And I admire that about you. But I also know the one thing that will rob you of success is drugs and alcohol. We don't want that to get in the way of your success, because me and your mom care about you, and we love you. End of conversation. So the next time, I may use this leading question again, planning to come from maybe a different perspective. Do you know why I want to make sure that you don't get involved with drugs and alcohol? And only this time, your teen responds, yeah, you and mom want me to be successful. Now, if you got that response, I mean, after you get peeled off the floor because you just passed out because you can't believe your son or daughter heard what you said, well, you could probably go say as a parent, yes, that's correct. I know you want to be successful too. And I would end the conversation right there. Or you may want to take it in a totally different direction. Maybe at this time or another time I may say something like, well, you're at an age where you may find yourself in a situation where there may be alcohol around or marijuana. You need to know that your mom and I do not approve of you being in any situation where that occurs. And here's what we expect. And then you lay out your expectation. Now, these are just a few examples, as there are multiple ways to approach this. It's not about the right way or the wrong way, am I doing it right? It's not about perfection. It's about getting in the way by saying something and doing something. Verbalize your expectations often. Find this or other useful information at wowcoalition.org. And until next time, show me the hand and remember to say something, to do something, and we'll get in the way together.